What's up, everyone? Happy Saturday, Friday. Who cares what day it is? We're in quarantine. It doesn't matter anymore. It is the Obsidian Alliance, two of the founding members, obviously. I am the Blair Thomas.
And I am Magic.
And Magic, why don't you go ahead and lead what we call it, this dilemma we're having?
um, Me and Blair are, of course, huge Star Wars fans. So this is the topic. Currently, in the last few recent weeks, we have heard interesting stories from not only John Boyega, who played Finn, but also from Daisy Ridley, who played the main character of Rey in the sequel trilogy. So that is our discussion. Pretty much the entire sequel trilogy in a nutshell. How we feel about it, what we would change, and plus the information, of course, from both actors. So to start off, how do you, before we go into the information that you know now, how did you feel about the sequel trilogy before?
It's the worst trilogy out of the three.
That I
Um,
can agree with.
uh, it's not lack. It doesn't lack action. It doesn't. What it lacks is symmetry
Yeah,
or what's like
plan,
just huh?
a plan, an idea, a structure.
There you go. Like it literally looks like someone said, you know what, I'm bored. Let's come out with a Star Wars trilogy. Like that's what it seems like to me. And not for nothing, that's fine. If a director wants to be bored and wants to add to whatever, if you do it right, it could make sense. But when you do it like this, it's just like, all right. So we have Finn holding the lightsaber, getting everybody hype, and then you have all the races like, oh, where's the last time there was a black Jedi? And we forget one of the heroes of the Clone Wars was black. I mean, but that's neither here nor there. We're gonna act like Mace Windu never existed, or the fact that there were probably black Jedi before him. But anyway, what do we know? We don't know anything. Um, that, and then of course the ultimate, just like the ultimate ass pull was Ray being a Palpatine. And it's just like Palpatine's never had any kids in this. I don't really get it. Uh, and yeah, it was a mess. It was just a mess. And honestly, the only thing I will say about the last trilogy, they know how to make a commercial. They know how to get us talking with the commercials, because how hype were I was hyped when I saw Finn hold it up and I just saw it ignite, and then you see the camera pan out and you see Kylo Ren's lightsaber red holding on to the snow. I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, I can dig this. And then of course you end the trailer with Han and Chewie. Chewie, we're home. I was like, okay, right, we got this. Okay, yes, they knew what they were doing when it came to the trailers, or even the last one. No one's ever really gone, and then you hear Palpatine's laugh. It's just like, oh, come on now, come
I
on.
remember I can't say my exact words to you, but I remember when it came out and this is the Rise of Skywalker trailer with Palpatine's laugh. And I ran to your room.
Have you seen it?
Have you seen it? No. I need you to watch it. And
Now,
but before I ran to your room, my words were, get the hell out of here, that they were pulling that. Uh, but before I knew the information I knew now, which we're about to get into a second, um, I liked The Force Awakens. I thought it was, yes, it was pretty much a New Hope, but okay, fine. If you want to make a recast of if you want to make a recast of a movie, A New Hope is not a bad way to start. Um, Ray, cool, didn't mind her as being a female, didn't mind her being whatever. She had a mysterious past about her. I had already made up a couple theories after the movie that she was either a Kenobi or she was, just somebody that just was long past ago, and they just happened to find her. I hated The Last Jedi. Absolutely hated The Last Jedi. Mainly the main now I will say it has some good action, especially the Snoke's throne room. Um, Luke Skywalker, of course, at the end. That was a good one. At least they tried to redeem him in some way, instead of that character assassination that they had in the first hour and some change. But that's the main reason why I didn't like it, because it's just, you made Luke Skywalker. I I get Ryan Johnson was trying to do something different and having that anybody could be a Jedi and that her parents were nobodies. Fine. You want to do that and say the Force is sentient and say, hey, here you go. That's cool. But you should have established that in the first movie. You had a hint maybe that you could pull that off, but not exactly. Um, Especially when Kenobi is the first thing that talks when you hold up the lightsaber and the memories go through it. And then it was the whole "you'll never be as good as Darth Vader" thing between Rey and Kylo Ren. And then the last, yeah.
Real quick, and I want to make sure I clarify. So, you remember when Rey was on the ground looking up to the stars, talking about "Be with me"?
Yeah.
Did Anakin's voice say "Bring balance to the Force, Rey," as I did?
Yes. Bring
That
balance.
was the wrong person to say that. Wrong person. Wrong person. Because in hindsight, "Bring balance to the Force, Rey," as I did. You
I mean, he
spent
did. He fulfilled it. He did. He fulfilled it.
Sir.
Yes. He fulfilled.
Sir.
Yes, we know that the First Order came back 30 years later. But
Sir.
at that time,
all of this is his fault.
yeah.
All of this.
But the thing,
So,
actually, it's not his fault. But
whose fault is it?
Palpatine's. Palpatine and the Jedi. But we're going to get into that later. We can get into that later.
Anakin did not bring balance to the Force.
He really did when he killed Palpatine. But anyway.
He didn't kill him. So what are you talking about? He didn't kill him. So no, he didn't bring balance to the Force. He didn't.
Anyway. God. Yeah. And the Rise of Skywalker, which is a horrible name because the Skywalkers have been rising since episode 1. So this is the Skywalker saga. There's no need for a Skywalker to rise anywhere.
Should have, honestly, to tell the truth, it should have been the death of Skywalker. That's what it should have been called.
Or the final Skywalker.
The final Skywalker.
Something. But that was J.J. Abrams' mashup attempt of a love letter to Star Wars fans when all you really did was have it's just a mess. It is a mess, and it's damaged. It should be actually called the Rise of Skywalker should be called Star Wars Damage Control, because that's all you did. You tried everything in the book to save this trilogy in that last movie, in which it wouldn't have been. I don't hate the Rise of Skywalker, but if you were going to do a damage control, you should have just made it 4 hours. Because that way you would have been able to clean up every little thing that you had messed up with it and then go from there. Because the obvious signs of, Rey's a Palpatine. That's how she's so strong without any real training. Okay, you try to clean that up. Okay, Han Solo dying. You have him brought back as a figment of Kylo Ren's imagination. So that could be cleared up. You had to bring Leia into the movie, so you reuse some extra scenes, and you have her send off. Luke Skywalker, when Rey is about to throw the lightsaber into the fire, Luke Skywalker catches it and says, this is something that should be handled with respect. Oh, what, didn't you do this? Well, I was wrong. Like,
Duh! Duh! Like, it is like a genius to know that cutting yourself off from the force for 40 years is wrong, or 20 years, however long he did. Like,
30, pretty much 40 years.
like, oh, I'm doing what you did. Oh, so yeah, leaving the rebels by themselves to face Palpatine. Yeah, great decision. Great Jedi thinking. Like, you're acting more and more like a Palpatine as this movie goes on.
Now, how do you feel about it and what we're going to get into is, of course, first, just coming from our perspective as Black males, John Boyega and him pretty much saying that Star Wars doesn't have a real direction or misled the public when it comes to Black actors or minority actors, in big roles. Especially from what we saw in not only the posters, but the very first trailer, as you was mentioning, about how there was no sign of a female, no sign of Rey. All you saw was Finn hold up the lightsaber and it ignited, and that was it.
Henry. And not that you need to pander to the races for Star Wars. Star Wars is pretty much doesn't have a race, it's universal. Everybody loves Star Wars. It's a multi-billion-dollar stamp. So it's not like you had to. They're just like, just in case they weren't reeled in yet. I'll put this in here real quick. Put that in there. And it worked because my first thought was, he's a descendant of Mace Windu. And if he's a descendant of Mace Windu, he's finna be nasty.
Yeah.
But just to find out that he's a clone trooper, storm trooper, that doesn't want to be a stormtrooper anymore. I was just like, oh.
But see, that's the thing. If you wanted to, Finn has the possibility of having the best story in Star Wars. It's a stormtrooper that's force sensitive that ends up being a Jedi, one of the best Jedi possibly out there, or just a stormtrooper that went from a nobody to being a Jedi and finding his way throughout the story. It's better than Rey's mismatched story of, and we're just now, I guess we're going to go into Rey now, of Rey possibly in the beginning being a Kenobi or coming from a powerful family, and you just have all this God-given talent. Like, to me, Finn's story works better than Rey's because it would literally show Rian Johnson's vision. And I hate to give Rian Johnson credit in anything because he destroyed. He pretty much is the reason why we have episode 7 and episode 8 in The Rise of Skywalker, because I don't even count The Last Jedi as part of the sequel trilogy because it's something on its own.
Why do you hate that movie so much? I don't understand. Like,
it's just,
it ain't that. It's bad. It's bad, but it ain't the worst. To me, it ain't the worst out of the 3. Like,
I almost put it up. I almost put it there with the Phantom Menace. It's literally in the.
What's wrong with the Phantom Menace?
It's literally in the bottom third.
What's wrong with the Phantom Menace?
That movie was so boring, and the only good part about that movie was the last 30 minutes, and you know it.
I'm sorry, sir. That seems to be the trend with most Star Wars movies, to be honest with you. The only one who had, to me, the only 2 that had continuous action was, I'd say for me, like I said, in the order that I like them, it's Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, Rise of Skywalker. The other movies, I honestly don't even really care to watch because they're boring. like boring. Like,
And to me, it's The Empire Strikes Back, Episode 5, Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3, and then from there, I mean, it doesn't really matter because I don't care. Not that I don't care. They're all decent movies, except for Episode 8, Episode 2, and Episode 1. They're all boring.
wait, episode 2, Attack of the Clones. You think it was boring?
God awful.
What? You got to see some of the space. One of the things I appreciated about Attack of the Clones, you got to see some of the animals in the universe. Like
That is because you were an animal lover, sir.
I mean, come on, son. Seeing a poisonous lion with 8 eyes and talons and stuff like, and 2 tentacles for a tail, that doesn't do it for me. That doesn't do it for me. Well, there was lightsaber action, but honestly, and the whole Star Wars needs more lightsaber action, to be honest with you. And the fact is that they waited to use some of the coolest Force abilities for some of the driest characters.
Yeah.
Like the whole healing with the Force. I'd rather see somebody else do that. Like, I'm sorry, just Rey has just no personality. Like, and kudos to the woman who played her to be able to warp yourself to have no personality. But
I will give her credit to big ups on possibly being blackballed for going against Star Wars and telling the truth to us that y'all didn't really have a plan. Y'all just went movie by movie and was like, okay, so episode 7 is going to be this, and we may have a mysterious past, but she may be a Kenobi. Then episode 8, you just said, the hell with everything. She's going to be a nobody, and anybody could be a Jedi. To episode 9 of, while we're filming, mind you, while we're filming the movie, this is not something that was planned before. While we're filming the movie, hey, how do you feel about being Palpatine's child? What?
And then
Palpatine does not care about anybody but his own self. And that's why even in the Legends continuity, he has cloned himself, and I'm exaggerating, of course, 1 billion times.
I think my main problem with the whole Palpatine thing is the fact that you made that like the climax of the movie, the dramatic bum bum bum, like, and every Star Wars fan is just like, yeah, no.
No.
No. You know, every movie has that point. Every movie has that point where it's just like, oh my God, there's this epiphany. But that, I was in the theater, like, I remember watching it. I was just like, she's a what? And honestly, I knew what was gonna happen. I'm not gonna lie. The first 8 minutes of Last Skywalker, loved it. You know, him coming to Edrigal and, you know, seeing, you know, everything, the dark side as a pathway to many abilities. Like, I loved the whole recap. I loved it. It was great. Here is where I knew it was going to go south. She's not who you think she is. I said, I swear to God. I swear to God. Like, yo, please. And I'm thinking to myself, yo, she's not a Skywalker. She's not a Kenobi. She's not a Windu. She's not one of Yoda's species. She's not related to Ahsoka in any way, shape, or form. So, what? She's not she's not related to Master Plo Koon, Master Timondi. She's not related to any of those. So I'm just like, I swear to God, if they try to pull this Palpatine crap, and I was cool. It was just a thought at that point. It was just a thought. Then we move on to the movie, the Force fight over the spaceship. and I saw that lightning, I said, no. You had to ruin it. You had to ruin it. You couldn't go any other direction. Gee, this is like you felt it the entire time. I know you know. You are a Palpatine. I felt like Luke again. No, it's not possible. No. Like, yo, it is so bad because it's just like there were so many people that didn't like in the theater who don't really know Star Wars. They were just like, oh. And we were just like,
no, this makes no sense. But then when they showed how that came to be, it was like, so when the hell did Palpatine have kids?
Because and now wait, was it his nephew or who are the parents again? Explain the parents to me again.
The parents is a Palpatine clone, officially, Rise of Skywalker book, Palpatine clone, and some random woman that he fell in love with. The reason why it's a Palpatine clone because, of course, they tried to pull from Legend continuity that he was making clones of himself because of what happened at the end of the Return of the Jedi. But none of his bodies could hold the amount of force power that he had in him. So he just said, you know what? We're just going to let that body go. And that body went off and did its own thing and found love. And then Palpatine just happened to find out who the parents were and try to go after them for the Rey child. And then that's why she was left on Jakku by herself and her parents ended up dying in the spaceship.
Let's not say Palpatine just all of a sudden. Because remember, Palpatine has apparently been orchestrating episodes 7 through 9 all on his own.
Yeah, with the whole Snoke thing.
Connecting people through Snoke, connecting people through the Force. So, and that's my thing. He even said, he's like, I had trouble finding you. How? Your clone is directly linked to you. And all the Sith energy in the universe is in you. So how is it hard for you to find someone? I don't get it. Like, you were half dead with your little bone finger connecting people through the Force. You know, even Ben said, why does the Force keep connecting me and you? Gee, I wonder why. Then the whole first 8 minutes, oh, my foolish child, I made Snoke. I have been every voice you have ever heard inside your head. Like, okay, so if you're that powerful, you couldn't find your own granddaughter?
No, daughter, not granddaughter. Daughter.
Stop. Granddaughter / stepdaughter.
No, granddaughter / daughter. Because remember, it's still Palpatine. It's his DNA. It's just through another body. Which in and of itself, just makes no sense.
The fact that you need an elaborate explanation for the BS that went on. That's enough. Like that's enough. And you know what? And I hate to pull from this. I hate to, but I'm going to. Do you know why Jurassic World is so successful?
Why?
Because they pay homage to the first movie so much. That is why they are successful. The same T-Rex. Damn near the same logo. Recap of that first movie. Recap of the island. Recap of favorite dinosaurs. Now you're bringing back for the last one, you're bringing back Dr. Grant? Yo, Star Wars, take from the Jurassic World formula. Pay homage. Yes, they did. They paid homage. They did. Where you lost us at was the Palpatine having a daughter, Han Solo being a Force ghost, You lost us at let's see, Kylo Ren being a whiny little baby with his lightsaber and destroying everything. You know, Sith are more dignified. You lost us at the whole
That's debatable,
Finn,
but we'll get to that.
huh?
The Sith are more dignified. We'll get into that later, but that's debatable.
I mean, I'm talking
I know
about
they're
they
more
don't.
debatable. I know they're more dignified than Kylo Ren. Move on.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying dignified as in I don't see Jedi or Sith throwing temper tantrums at computers with their lightsaber and anything else you need to tell me? Like, what you mad for? Like, you don't understand. Like, why was it that deep for you that you had to destroy a whole wall that somebody got to fix now? Like, I understand you have daddy issues and uncle issues, but like, oh, you definitely lost me at the whole Superman Leia thing through space. You definitely lost me at that. I'm sorry. I don't care if she's a Skywalker. I don't care. Never showed her being force sensitive before. I show it now. And then, the dramatic music. I was just like,
Well, speaking of things you lost us at and trying to fix it, for today, just for this video, we're going to. This is a sequel trilogy series. How would you fix episode 7? And what would you change? What would you not change? And things of that nature. Just for episode 7. We're going to get into 8 and 9 in different videos.
keep Ray, keep Finn, keep Kylo. No temper tantrum. No temper tantrum. Finn can still be a stormtrooper. I want him to have some type of relation to Mace, whether it be a child that he left or a woman. I mean, yeah, you can do the typical black thing. Yeah, he had sex and left the kid and whatever. You want to go
Well,
ahead,
at least you can make the excuse of Jedi attachments.
right? And you can make hell. I mean, you
Oh,
can make
disclaimer: the Obsidian Alliance does not promote black fatherlessness or abandoning your child. So,
yeah, I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna make it like every other genre tries to make it, like we just don't take care of our kids, so okay, fine. Mace Windu left the kid and died before he had a chance to come back, or blah blah blah. Told his mom he was gonna come back after the Clone Wars, and then of course history took place. So whatever. Right. As far as Rey, she has the accent. She is a Kenobi. She doesn't know in episode 7. And neither does Finn. Finn and her do not know their lineage. And correct me if I'm wrong, episode 7 ended with her finding Luke.
yeah, it ended with her finding Luke.
They both need to be on that ship. And Luke would tell them both, well, no, Luke would tell some more about Rey because, Obi-Wan trained him. And then when Yoda comes back, Yoda talks to Finn. I'll have that. Yoda talks to Finn. We'll leave off episode 7 with her finding out. Well, no, we'll leave episode 7 off with Luke saying something very dramatic, like you both don't know who you truly are. Then the Star Wars music will play off. You pan out from the island and blah, blah, blah. Still bring back Han Solo. Still bring back Chewbacca. That's fine. Still bring back Leia. I like all of that. Fight scenes were okay. More Force abilities in the whole trilogy, not just episode 7, but more Force abilities. We know the Force jump. We know the hold. We know the choke. We know the slam. Let's see through the dyads, of course. They're the dyads of the Force now. They should be doing tricks. Like, I'm talking about throwing your lightsaber like a boomerang around the room and watch it like cut off everybody's head and then catch it like this and then flip it back into the holder. I want to see some old Republic stuff here. I want to see it. I want to see it. But of course not in episode 7 because that's too early. They're just now discovering their Force abilities. Maybe landing to Luke's island was going to be a rough landing, but they both meditated and used the Force to guide down the Millennium Falcon safely. And that's when Luke felt the Force for the first time in 20 years, and still have all that. BB-8 is fine. Having R2-D2 activate at the end of the movie is fine. Bringing back CP3O, fine. I'm good with most of the movie. Just not the whole temper tantrum Kylo Ren and just typical dumb stuff.
What about Snoke?
Snoke needs to be the villain until episode 9.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about how they did it as in kill him off in 8. I'm talking about all the way until about the end. I'd say the last hour of Rise of Skywalker. He needs to be the villain. And just to find out that he is a clone of Palpatine. If you want to bring back Palpatine for the last hour, cool. I liked it. It wasn't a bad idea. It wasn't. Or if everybody's sick of seeing Palpatine, because everybody likes to make it seem like he's the greatest Sith that ever lived. He only had a 60-year reign. But, whatever. Just make Snoke the villain and shoot. Have him be just a Force. He could have been a Force user that was so deep in the dark side, it mangled him, and he just chose the dark path, like a lot of Sith do. Like that's the path they choose. So the deeper you are on the dark side, the uglier you become. Cool. We're changing why Kylo Ren is Kylo Ren and not Ben Solo. We're changing that. Definitely changing that. But what would you change?
You can keep Rey, keep Finn, Poe, all of that. I like the Kenobi idea. If you wanted to keep her a Skywalker, I don't see how, unless, of course, you try to pull from the Legends continuity and you bring in Mara Jade Skywalker, in which that's Luke's wife. And they have a child. They actually have 3, I believe, in Legends continuity. And, due to Luke having to, and this is not Legends continuity, this is me trying to bring it into episode 7. And due to missions and battle plans and everything else, they separate. If you want to keep Luke at the opinion of, he's been far away for so long, Mara Jade or whatever his wife name would be, they separate and they say, you know what? We're just not going to be a part of the Force anymore. And then y'all separate. So that's why she doesn't know she has Force abilities until episode 7, if you want to keep it that way. I personally like the Kenobi idea. It's a good send-off. Or things of that nature. But if you want to keep the Skywalker, that's an idea. Kylo Ren, yeah, we're definitely changing how he becomes Kylo Ren, because one, you never really explained it in the movie, and two, he's he's a whiny teenager kid. No, we're just not gonna have that at all. That's dumb. I don't mind a Darth Vader obsession or wanting to emulate Darth Vader, because if you want to emulate anybody, who better than Vader? If you want to emulate anybody, who better than Vader?
I just thought of something. The beginning scene, Kylo Ren only killing one villager. No, I want him to slaughter that whole village by himself. And I want the troopers to watch, especially Finn, because I guess I want him to be upset about how Finn acted, and line them all up and say, if you guys can't obey my commands, this is what's going to happen. And I want him to do a whole Rogue One Vader slash off the villagers. I want Kylo Ren. I want him to do that too. I want to add that. I want him to slaughter that whole village.
Okay, so you want it seems like nowadays in the modern Star Wars movies, every major Sith has their moment. It has started with Vader. So, because Maul eventually had his in season 7 of the Clone Wars, his hallway scene. So it seems like every Sith has their moment. So, so no, you know what? I actually like that. So yeah, Kylo Ren can have his, this is why I emulate my grandfather, or I am different than my grandfather, because you'll see some trying to shoot him and you'll just see him do his hold off of the blast of fire and then send it back. So yeah, he has his moment. Episode 7, I would end it with, of course, how it ended in episode 7 in real life. Rey going to find Luke. And of course, Finn and all of them come with. Because, you know, his famous lines, it's just a feeling. And they go and Poe's there too. Poe's not force sensitive. I'm not making that cast force sensitive. It's just gonna be Finn and Rey. And I like the way you ended it with, you really have no idea how actually big you actually are. And end scene. And, you know, go from there.
Listen, George Lucas, I'm telling you.
But in the beginning, like I said, I want the whole, in fact, I want you to play the ending of episode 6 and Snoke watching it through the Force. And he's like, okay, I guess I got to do it myself. And then that's how you begin episode 7, cut to Rey, and yeah, go from there. So, but any last thoughts on episode 7 and what we know of Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, or anything of that nature?
Listen, Disney, George Lucas, whoever's in charge. I mean, look, we're trying to make y'all some money, bro. All you got to do is listen. I want my 10%. 10%. That's all I'm asking for. It's not even a lot of money when it's concerning George Lucas or Disney. 10% of the profit. And I don't even need toy profit. I'm just talking about movie profit. That's it. Movie profit. I'll take that.
Yes. The 1, 5, 10%. Yes, please. Thank you. But also make Dave Filoni the head of Star Wars. Stop playing. Kathleen Kennedy and this whole diversity SJW movement crap. Just stop. I won't say stop pandering, but stop pandering. Stop making their diversity trait their personality trait. Stop making Black woman characters and their only defining trait is that they're Black or that they're a woman. Stop. Star Wars is one of the most diverse universes in fiction. We had Alien Jedi, like we had in the High Republic that's about to come out soon. Their first issue is about to come out. You have a Wookiee Jedi, a Wookiee that's first force sensitive. Like, come on, man. Like, stop. Have a plan, an idea from beginning to end. If you're going to stick with something, stick with it. Stop SJWing. Make Dave Filoni the head of Star Wars, so that way you can have Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni running everything, because The Mandalorian, other than Rogue One, is the best thing to come out of Star Wars since the Clone Wars. That's because Solo was a bomb. Episode 7 was okay. 8 was trash. 9 was damage control, which pretty much Episode 9 almost killed Star Wars, and that's crazy to say off of $1 billion industry. It almost killed an entire Episodes 8 and 9 almost killed an entire franchise that has 40 years of history. 40 years of history, and 2 movies almost killed it. Just stop. But anyways, this has been the Obsidian Alliance with your Star Wars, If We Were to Run It series. Continuing on with episodes 8 and then episodes 9 later on down the road. This has been Magic.
The Blair Thomas.
And if you need guidance, as always, come seek the Alliance. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And we will catch y'all next time. Peace.
Yeah. Young OG, Blair, Thomas, and Magic. Subscribe now, watch us live lavish. We got Brooks, now we live, and we bringing major vibes. Obsidian Alliance, we taking off flying high. Follow us now for guidance. Obsidian Alliance, Obsidian Alliance. We got the best advice. Keep it real, no lying. Obsidian Alliance, Obsidian Alliance, Obsidian Alliance, Obsidian Alliance. We got what you need. Obsidian Alliance, Obsidian Alliance, Obsidian Alliance. Oh no.